Going on, everyone? Welcome to episode number 98 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. This is the Creator Series. Today, I welcomed a singer-songwriter. She's originally from Nebraska, but she recently moved to Chicago, Illinois. Her name is Zoe Gabrielle. Zoe actually, I think she commented on one of my posts at the end of last year where I asked my followers, like, who should I work with? Like, what artist should I work with in the new year? And she said, like, work with me. And I didn't know who it was. So I went and checked her out, and I checked out the music and the profile and everything, and followed her, started sending her some songs, and I'm glad to finally get her on the podcast this week. Kind of short notice. This was a super rapid fire episode. It's only 15 or 16 minutes total. We kind of just flew through it because Zoe had places to be and everything, but I was really just happy to get to talk to her for the first time. She kind of goes in about her background in acting and how that kind of led to, her wanting to do music in general, like being in theater and everything in high school, and kind of just what it's been like, just the last few years becoming an artist, writing her own music, putting it out there for people. This new single she has called Copy, she talks about the story behind that and really what led that to be the first single from this EP that she has coming out, which by the time this episode drops, the EP will probably be out, or it'll probably be the week of when it's supposed to come out. And she talked about, the first time doing a project of her own, what that's been like, the process behind that, any struggles she might be having there, doing the music video for Copy, which is coming out in April as well. So just a lot of things she's got going on. I'm excited to see what she does moving forward because I think she has a lot of potential. And I hope you guys enjoy this one. And without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome, everyone, to episode 98 here on the Proven Knowledge Podcast. This is the Creator Series. Today we have a young singer-songwriter. She's originally from Nebraska, but now in Chicago, Illinois. Zoe Gabrielle is here. How are you, Zoe?
Good. How are you doing?
Doing great. Like I said, thank you for joining me on such short notice and everything. I'm glad to have you here. I know we've been in touch the last few months and everything, and it's going to be good to get to know a little bit more about you on the show. So basically, to start off every episode, we have the guest give a bit of background. How did you get into music? How long have you been singing? Just kind of basic information for those that might not be familiar with you and what you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm originally from Nebraska. I'm from the Omaha area. I kind of started singing through theater. So I did theater all when I was younger and kind of in high school and stuff, and mainly musical theater. So I guess I've been singing for a long time, but I haven't really been writing for a long time. And I always kind of knew I wanted to be a singer, but I didn't know that meant I should probably write my own songs, I guess. And I just never thought I could do it, I guess, in short. So yeah, and then I started writing last summer. Seems like not that long ago, but it kind of was. But I would say it was mainly through is how I got my start.
Mm-hmm. So that the last couple of years then, all right, you only have a few songs out, I know, and everything. Has that been kind of a challenge to kind of find yourself as an artist just starting out and kind of putting yourself out there for the first time, or has that been kind of just you've eased your way into it?
Yeah, yes, it has been, because I just kind of impulsively jumped into this. I just released something. I didn't really have a plan. I just recorded something in the simplest way I could and put it out, and it's been going really well in the way that I really like doing it. And I just kind of impulsively got into it, and it was really hard to find my sound and my style, and it was.
It's definitely a leap of faith too, because I feel even when you're passionate about something, it's not always easy to kind of put yourself out there and show yourself to the world, because sometimes even if you're making songs by yourself, you're kind of afraid to put them out there sometimes, or it might not be the easiest thing to do. But it's once you get good feedback from friends and family, and then you get feedback from strangers and stuff, that can be gratifying as well. I know when I think you commented on one of my posts or something, I started checking out your songs, and I'm just she already has a real voice and a knack for songwriting. I could tell you already had kind of a good basis just starting out and everything, and I was pretty impressed. So I definitely think it was a good thing, doing what you're doing and everything, and just continue working. It's going to be crazy to see where it goes. I'm kind of interested about the move from Nebraska to Chicago? Like, was that for schooling? Was that for music or acting? Like, what was that? What was kind of the basis of that whole thing?
Yeah, that was for school. So I'm also, I do music, but I'm also in college, and I still do theater and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely hard to balance it all. And I understand if anyone else is the same boat, like it's crazy, especially when you're independent. But yeah, it was for school. And I also just, I really like the area, and I knew that it would kind of help me grow in whatever I wanted to do. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. So have you met anyone that's like maybe sound engineers, maybe vocal coaches that have kind of helped you out along this whole journey so far? Maybe people you met in the area in Chicago?
Oh yeah, I've met people out here, people over, and people everywhere, especially with COVID. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so easy to kind of just collaborate with somebody, and it being virtual or whatever. I've met like so many people through music. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I have.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious about dream collaborations for you, Zoe. Like, it could be singers, it could be producers, maybe people that you listen to on a daily basis. Is there anyone that you've ever thought, like, if I could do a song with them, that would be like a dream come true?
Yeah. Oh, I really have to think about that. Hmm. Probably Tame Impala, I think, or I guess Kevin Parker.
Yeah.
I would say either production wise or like vocal wise. That would probably be like I would peak if that happened. So yeah.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. Cause like he was one of those people that kind of flew under the radar. Like, he had the whole thing with his band and everything, and everyone thought like, who is this? Is it a whole band? Is it just one guy or whatever? And people kind of know now like who he is and everything. And like,
Yeah.
as a producer and as like a singer and everything and a songwriter, he's like an all around talent. So I think like. And that's why you see like he's able to touch different genres. Like, he's worked with different people in like R&B and different people in hip hop even. So it's like I think
Yeah.
he's one of those artists that's like super versatile. So I think he could pretty much
Yeah.
touch any base that he wanted to. So I think that
Yeah.
would be insane to see. So for songwriting for you, like where it's at now, is there a certain approach for you for how you're starting a song? Is it like you have to hear the music first, or are you always writing ideas no matter what, and you might just apply them to the music later on?
Um, I don't know. I know I get asked this kind of often, and there's really no specific answer. I do like to kind of hear like music first, and then write lyrics over it, or like kind of just like do a melody over it, and then do the lyrics last.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like sometimes I'm just. I just write stuff down in my notes that I'm like feeling, or like a little phrase that I like, and I'm like, oh, that's a good lyric. So I always have like that to refer back to. I journal like every day, so that really helps. But yeah, I would say I like to have like kind of the beat down first, or the instrumentals down, and kind of building off of that.
Yeah.
I would say would be what I like prefer.
Yeah. I've said this on other episodes too. It still marvels me that like people are able to kind of just have whole songs crafted out without the music, and then they put the music in there. It's like I've always been like the auditory first, where I have to hear the music first, and then I'd be like, okay, I could see how someone could craft like a storyline around this. But like some people do it in reverse. It's kind of weird. I guess it's just all about like personal preference and everything. I'm always interested to see how songwriters do it, because I don't write music myself. I just make like beats and stuff, so I don't have that skill. But I think it's very cool to like figure that out for different people as well. So as far as like putting yourself out there, because obviously like let's use Copy for example. You just released that song and everything, so you're doing a lot of different social media promo and stuff. How are you approaching that? Are you just kind of like going and trying to find people that might like your song via like Instagram and stuff? Are you like doing it a certain way, or are you just kind of putting out the content you have and just seeing what comes back to you, like what kind of comments you get and things like that? Like, how do you approach all that?
I think I do a little bit of both. I don't like to shove my music down people's throats. Like, I don't like to I'm just not like that. But yeah, I guess I kind of try and find like my audience, and I know that my audience is people like similar to me, and kind of what I like, I guess, because I make the music that I genuinely like and would listen to, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. I genuinely really do like making content though, and I love like editing pictures and making videos and doing all the artistic side of it. I really enjoy as well. So yeah, I just kind of put it out and see what happens. But I try and interact, build relationships with other people because that's super important. Not really just for music, just in general. So yeah.
So I'm curious too, as far as like the live performing aspect. I don't know if you've like done any live shows yet for like your songs and stuff. Are you looking to do that eventually, like in the local area and stuff?
Yeah, honestly, I've done a few, but it's been a little hard. I started music during COVID, so it was really hard to. It's still hard to find places to perform at for sure. But yeah, I'm hoping I can get in the city soon and perform more and kind of get back to doing it consistently. Yeah.
Well, let's go back to Copy for a second. You just released this song. It's the first single from your EP, I believe, as well. So why did you choose that song to kind of lead it off with? Is that kind of just the best representation of what we're going to get from the project, or like what went into that process?
Yeah, I think I don't know. Yeah, I think it's kind of the vibe of the whole EP, but it's definitely different. I don't even think like there's one genre throughout the EP. Like it's definitely like a little bit all over the place. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it really represents my sound and what I'm wanting to do and the direction that I'm wanting to go. I actually wrote Copy before my second song, so like right after Across the Room is when I like wrote Copy. So kind of a long time ago. But yeah, I think it represents the EP the best. It's the track right in the middle. So it's kind of the peak of the story.
Yeah. So what has that process been like then, putting together like your first full project? Has that been a lot different for you, kind of trying to come up with the story that you're going to tell to people for the first time?
Yeah, it has been really hard. I mean, I love it, but it definitely has been really difficult. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely like, because, I want it to be structured and I want it to be a story, but I also want it to be creative and I want freedom within it. So yeah, it's definitely been a little hard to find the perfect balance, and but it's super fun, and it's so fun to like have a theme and have a story and go along with it, and the marketing stuff as well. Like I said, I love to do the pictures and the videos, and I don't know, just like putting it all into play. And yeah, it is really scary though. I've never done like a big project like this. So it's definitely been a little crazy. I'm just kind of used to putting out a single. I mean, it's still a big deal, but it's not like as. So yeah, it's been really fun, nonetheless. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's coming out in what, April then, right?
Yeah, I'm planning April and like probably sometime late spring, maybe early summer.
Nice. That'll be coinciding with this when this episode comes out, so it'll be like perfect then. It'll probably be like the same week. Yeah. So that's awesome. So
yes.
I don't know if you've ever thought about this yet. Obviously, still like toward the beginning of your career, you probably got so much more to go and so much more to think about. But what do you think at the end of the day you want your lasting impact to be? Like when someone hears a song of yours or maybe this EP, what do you think you want them to walk away with at the end of the day?
I just want them to be able to relate, like to take it personal and to relate it to their lives and have it mean something to them with every detail, like every lyric, like just have it be something that they can relate to. Because I do write about my experiences, but I also kind of, I guess, sometimes pretend I'm a character and like write about someone else through their eyes. So I try and make it versatile. And yeah, I just want it to mean something to people, and I hope that that means they can relate it to, I don't know, a lover, a family member, a friend, or whatever.
So we got only a few more questions to go. These are questions I ask on every episode. So the first one is, if you could go back 10 years ago, give yourself a piece of advice, or maybe not change anything at all, what do you think you would do?
Hmm. Hmm. Um, I think I would start music earlier, and I would find my brand and kind of like who I am and what my sound is earlier,
Mm-hmm.
or like tell myself not to change, or do it. I'm from Nebraska, like I'm from a small town, so it was always a little scary to do stuff like that and just really put yourself out there. And I guess I kind of was scared in a way. So yeah, I think I would just tell myself to start sooner and know who you are and just go with it.
Mm-hmm. So if we flip that then and we say 10 years from now, where do you think you want to be? Like, where do you envision yourself in your life and your career?
Hmm. I don't know. Hopefully, still doing music, putting out, records. But I really want to make an album sometime. I don't know when,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess I'd really like to have an album out for sure. Maybe like 3 in 10 years. Um, and I don't know. I just want to make music and maybe still do acting and maybe some theater stuff. But I just want to do music, and I just want to write for other people and make the world a better place, I guess.
Yeah, well, nothing wrong with that. That's always great to have too, 100%. So I don't know if you have anything else coming up that you want to like mention or promote. Is there anything else besides the EP that we can expect, like in the summertime or anything?
Yeah. Well, I'm shooting a music video for Copy in 2 days from now, so I'm not sure. It'll probably be out maybe early April for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So that's coming up. Super excited about that. I've never done a music video, so it's gonna be a little whoa. But yeah, that's kind of the latest news updates. So
Nice. Looking forward to that for sure. So do you have any final words of wisdom today for the listeners?
Ooh, words of wisdom. I don't know. If anyone is out there and thinking about doing music, just do it. I promise, you might get some good feedback out of it. I definitely I'm not going to lie, I got a little more positive feedback when I started music than I thought I would. So, yeah, just do it. And it's cool. And I think if you really want to do it, but think it's hard, just do it and write about yourself. And I'm sure somebody will appreciate your work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you never know until you try. You know what I mean? If you don't try, who knows what'll happen. But, well, Zoe, that's all I have for you today. I really appreciate you joining me. This was like the rapid fire episode. This was one of the quicker episodes, but you killed it. You answered all the questions precisely.
Of course.
So, thank you for joining me, and I'm looking forward to your EP and everything else you got going on. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm so happy. I love doing podcasts. So
yeah. We'll have to do a part 2 again soon, because I know we're going to be doing music hopefully soon, and we'll see what happens.
Yes, we should. Yeah.
Thanks everyone for listening today. That was episode number 98. We'll be back this time next week, and we are only 2 weeks away from the 100th episode, finalizing the giveaway and the guest who will be on the episode. So you guys are going to have to stay tuned for some very special stuff, and I'm looking forward to getting it all going. But until next week, we will see you then. Thanks, everyone.